Kakarot and Raditz take off into space to begin their training. Kami watches their pods fly into space, immediately deciding to contact Goku, who is currently having a get-together at Kame House. He tells him that Kakarot has been taken into space by another alien with a tail, assuming that they're off preparing an invasion. Goku is angered at hearing that even after all these years, Kakarot still hasn't changed for the better. He could feel the change in Piccolo Jr. after their battle at the tournament, so why can't it happen for his evil counterpart? He asks the others to look after his son Gohan for a bit, while he takes off towards the lookout. Goku asks what it is he can do to prepare, as he doesn't think he'll have much more to gain from Kami's training. Kami reveals to Goku the existence of Otherworld, how there is a great martial arts master there who can teach him everything he knows. However, entering Otherworld is forbidden without a god's pass, so Kami will have to personally plead to King Yemma to allow him training. King Yemma isn't too pleased at first with an alive immortal in this realm, but since he has saved a planet and has no evil in his heart whatsoever, he can be allowed training with King Kai. Goku begins his trek down Snake Way, as, back on Earth, Piccolo listened in on Goku and Kami's conversation, learning what Kakarot is up to. He curses Kami for splitting Goku in the first place, and then wonders on Goku's child. Would Kakarot have any feelings for this child since it would biologically also be his? Maybe he can use the boy as leverage against both of them. He kidnaps Gohan from the others, intending to lock him away until he shows off some of his hidden potential. This power shocks Piccolo, with him changing his plans. Now he really can use this boy. He can train him to control this power, and if they don't die to Kakarot and his brother, then maybe he can mold him into the perfect demon to use for his own world domination plans. Kakarot and Raditz arrive back on the Frieza base, with Kakarot beginning his training under Raditz. He's easily beat around by Cybermen, with Raditz finding this extremely pathetic. Except he begins to show off amazing techniques like the Kamehameha, which can easily almost triple his battle power. Kakarot picks up some of Raditz's own moves, such as the Double Sundae, which makes him more hungry than anything when he uses it. Thankfully, these Frieza planets have actual good food that he can eat non-stop, which is a far cry than the scraps he's been living off of for years. Kakarot is brought back up to his full glory by Raditz, not even noticing the loss in his power anymore from Goku being ripped out of him. The two continue to train, with Kakarot growing amazingly strong in no time, easily besting the most talented warriors on this planet, which amazes Raditz, as Kakarot's power may have already surpassed even his. With Kakarot powered up now, Raditz contacts Vegeta and Nappa to let them know he's up to speed, so they can commence with their planet-wide invasion they got him for in the first place. Vegeta isn't really convinced, as being stronger than Raditz and Cybermen isn't anything to brag about. They'll be there in a few months' time to check in on his power, and if it's below his expectations, then he'll personally eliminate both of them. Raditz begins to panic, as Kakarot isn't ready yet. Kakarot slaps him on the back, telling him to calm down. They still have a few months before the two get here, so they can take out loads of planets in the meantime to increase their power. Plus, he still has things he needs to teach Raditz that he learned on Earth. Kakarot and Raditz go into battle on dozens of worlds the Frieza Force sends them to, with Kakarot enjoying slaughtering the people of these planets, mainly since their powers aren't anything too special. There are a few warriors who are able to damage the two of them, but when they do get damaged, they are damaged greatly. But that's nothing that the medical pods won't fix. With this, their power increases with Zenkai boosts, amplifying the powers they already got from the battles themselves. Watching Kakarot battle reminds Raditz of his father, who he asks Kakarot if he has any memories of. Kakarot tells his brother that he has flashes of him sometimes, of Gine and Raditz when he was a kid too. He remembers being sent off by the two of them to enact his Saiyan goal, but doesn't remember what his father said right beforehand. Raditz is confused that the two of them sent him off themselves, as that's not usually how Saiyan babies are sent to Earth. He got a transmission from their mom that he was being sent off to Earth to enslave it. Kakarot tries to think on what his father said to him, but he can't. He was sent to Earth to destroy it, right? Raditz said Gine told him that, but then why does he remember her sounding so sad? No, that's always what the plan was from the beginning, right? Sent to Earth as a baby to destroy it for the Saiyans. Nothing else got added to that, right? As he looks inside himself, trying to remember, he feels something else. Except it's not really within him. It's some kind of incredible power multiplier, but not his. As he thinks on it, he wonders that it must be Goku. He can feel the power Goku has achieved as the two are linked, this power being the Kaioken on King Kai's planet. He didn't think his good half could ever get power like that. He curses that Goku continues to find ways to outdo him, but wonders if he can feel this power, then could he be able to use it for himself? Kakarot and Raditz's training on multiple planets continues, with the two growing amazingly powerful in combat, leagues above where they were before. It's been over 6 months since Vegeta's last transmission, with it now being time for him to arrive. They all meet up together on a Frieza training planet, with Vegeta and Nappa stepping out to meet Kakarot for the first time. He doesn't look like much, so Nappa reads their power levels. He reads Kakarot's power at 500. He bursts out laughing, asking how in all those months he only managed to get his power to 500. He reads Raditz's, seeing that his power has only increased by 1 since they last saw him. Vegeta shakes his head in embarrassment, saying he knew they were a waste of his time and that they've sealed their own fates. Kakarot smiles, however, saying that he still wants to go around with Nappa. Nappa laughs out that they really do have a death wish, with him being more than happy to grant it to them. Vegeta wonders how Kakarot can be so cocky, with his level being a disgustingly low 500 compared to Nappa's 4000. He tells Nappa that something is off here, saying he can tell they're hiding something. Have they learned how to hide their true power levels? Raditz sweats, thinking that's Vegeta for you, as Kakarot goads Nappa to come and find out. Nappa's had enough, rocketing towards Kakarot, with Kakarot easily catching his fist. Nappa is shocked, as Kakarot, faster than the eye can see, kicks Nappa directly in the chest, causing him to stumble back in immense pain. Kakarot laughs maniacally, as he asks if Nappa still believes in his 500 power level. Nappa explodes in power, rushing towards Kakarot, swinging wildly. Kakarot dodges all of his attacks, eventually teleporting on top of Nappa's head, slamming it into the ground, knocking Nappa out easily. He turns to smugly look at Vegeta as he stands on Nappa's crushed skull, asking the prince to look at his power level now. Vegeta detects Kakarot's new readings, a power level of over 9,000. Vegeta tells Kakarot he's impressed that a low-class warrior managed to increase his power in such a short amount of time. Kakarot says that while the prince has been napping in his little sleepy pod for the past months, he's been off battling on dozens of worlds, gaining Zenkai boosts and growing into the strongest Saiyan that's ever lived. Raditz tells Kakarot to calm himself, as he's still not on Vegeta's level yet. Kakarot tells him to shut it, as he doesn't believe they have to listen to this guy anymore. However, in the blink of an eye, Vegeta is right on Kakarot, decking him across the face. He yells out in pain, with Vegeta landing a devastating gut punch to him. He throws an uppercut directly into Kakarot's chin, launching him straight into the air. Then begins to fire continuous ki blasts at Kakarot to keep him afloat in the air. Kakarot grits his teeth, flying out of the attack, down to Vegeta. However, Vegeta is instantly behind him, slamming him over the head with a kick. Kakarot can't believe the strength in these attacks, attempting to land some of his own. However, Vegeta is able to easily parry his blows, retaliating with attacks 10 times stronger. Vegeta tosses the battered Kakarot to the side, with the Saiyan gasping for breath on the ground. Raditz is horrified witnessing Kakarot's state, as Vegeta walks over to the both of them. Raditz stumbles back horrified, with Vegeta saying they've grown a lot stronger than he anticipated, with this low-class trash being able to best an elite. One he doesn't believe he has any use for anymore. He lowers his hand down, readying a blast, launching it down onto Nappa's body, completely erasing him. If the lowly Kakarot is able to surpass an elite like this, then he is no more use for him. Raditz falls to the ground in pure fear, with Vegeta turning to him, asking him if his battle power is above Nappa's yet, or if he should eliminate him as well. Kakarot then slowly begins to get to his feet, shocking both Raditz and Vegeta. With the condition he's in, there's no way he should still be standing. Kakarot smiles at Vegeta, telling him not to count him out yet. He's still got one more trick up his sleeve to defeat the prince. Vegeta laughs hysterically, asking the clown how he plans on beating him looking like that. Kakarot begins to scream out, building his energy as a red aura surrounds him. Vegeta's scouter begins to go off, detecting that Kakarot's power level is increasing. That's impossible. In the state he's in, his power should be getting lower, though his energy shoots past 11k, to 12k, to over 15,000. Kakarot continues to build in power, saying that anything Goku learns, he'll learn as well. He screams out as the Kaioken surrounds him, his power exploding, shattering Vegeta's scouter. The last numbers on it he sees or those exceeding 20,000. However, as soon as he unleashes the power, Kakarot screams out in pain as the Kaioken tears at his body. Since he's never truly trained into form, the power is too much for his broken body to handle, with him collapsing to the ground convulsing. Raditz rushes over to his brother trying to help, eventually picking him up and bringing him over to a healing pod. Vegeta allows Kakarot to be healed, as that power was power that exceeded his own. As Kakarot recovers in his healing pod, Vegeta interrogates Raditz on what kind of power that was that Kakarot showed off. Raditz says he's not quite sure, as Kakarot didn't go into too much detail on this power, but he knows it must be something from his good half. Vegeta wonders what Raditz is talking about with good halves, so Raditz has to try and explain what happened with the whole Goku Kakarot split thing. Vegeta is shocked to hear that there is another Kakarot on Earth, one who has compassion, no tail, and is supposed to be stronger than even Kakarot? Vegeta's rage builds more and more, as he may not have gotten outclassed by one Saiyan today, but possibly two? Raditz tells him that Kakarot wants Goku gone just as much as Vegeta probably does now, and with the power they've achieved and with them all together now, then they should be able to take over those pesky Earthlings even with all of their weird powers. Vegeta decides that Kakarot is worthy enough to live for now, though he's not forgiving him and surpassing him in power. With an invasion of Earth, he'll be able to grow in power to defeat Kakarot, proving his superiority as the Prince of all Saiyans. He's not going to wait for Kakarot to heal, immediately getting into his pod to travel to Earth. Raditz waits a few more hours until Kakarot is healed, with Kakarot having grown immensely powerful from this new Zenkai. He asks where Vegeta's at so they can have their rematch, with Raditz having to admit that Vegeta already took off for Earth. Kakarot explodes in anger, as Earth is supposed to be his to conquer. How dare Vegeta try and take that away from him? He runs to get into his pod to follow him, with Raditz asking if he thinks he's surpassed Goku yet, with Kakarot telling his brother he'll never let himself be second best to that good-hearted freak ever again. The two launch off of the training planet after Vegeta on their way to Earth. As Goku continues his training on King Kai's planet, King Kai begins to detect the Saiyan pods on the move, telling Goku that Kakarot is finally coming home. And that's where we're going to be leaving this episode for right now. Thank you all so much for the overwhelmingly positive support on the first part of this episode. Reading all of your nice comments really made my day, and that video really has motivated me more to keep going. So if you guys want to continue to support this series, then make sure to like this video and subscribe down below if you want to see the next part faster. If we can get this part to 1,000 likes, then I'll begin working on the next part right away. Huge shout out to all of my amazing patrons for their continued support, as you guys are the reason why all of this is possible. Huge shout out to the Super Saiyan God tier member, TailsHomie99. Thank you so much for your amazing continued support. And thank all of you so much for continuing to watch the channel and support me in everything that I do. Thank you all so much for watching, and until we meet again. See you later!